and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by Chit Podcast Network. Now, today we had the fun experience of talking to Claire Tan, who is an artistic or synchronized swimmer. And let me tell you, it was just such a fun experience to talk about her experience as an athlete, competing, and just learning about the sport. Because most of the time we watch synchronized or artistic swimming, we wouldn't know what goes through in, let's say, their preparation, how they prepare for it, how they even train for it, right? And also to learn about her as a person, right? How does she balance studying in NUS law and at the same time, being a full-time athlete. So without further ado, before we get into our episode, a word from our sponsor. This week's episode of the Chit Chatter is brought to you by our friends at CityMusic, your one-stop shop for all things music and podcast related right here in Singapore. Whether you're picking out your first instrument, upgrading your setup, or starting a podcast, CityMusic has you covered. From guitars, keyboards and amps, microphones and full podcast setups, cameras, lighting and streaming gear, everything you need to create, record and perform at the highest level is all in one place. They also carry a wide range of microphones for every budget. Some of us at the Chit Chatter even use the Zoom ZDM1, a solid podcast mic that delivers great quality and nearly half the price of many popular options. If you're looking to start your own music or podcast journey, be sure to check out CityMusic's website or head down to their store today. A big thanks to our friends at CityMusic for supporting the Chit Chatter. And now, back to the episode. Now, our guest today is a Singapore national artistic or synchronized swimmer and vice captain of the national team who has represented Singapore since 2019 at major meets including the World Youth Artistic Swimming Championships, World Aquatics Championship and Asian Games, winning duet bronze and team silver at the 2019 Asian Age Group Championships, and most recently represented Singapore at the 2025 SEA Games and won silver. She is also currently part of the Singapore National Olympic Council Athletes Commission. So to learn more about our guest, please join me in welcoming Claire Tan. Hello, Claire.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Before we got on, right, I think we were just talking about your school and, you just got back from school. So how is school for you?
School right now it's kind of tough because we're entering exam season. Yeah, so
yes.
lots of long days at the library.
Mid to like early May. I don't think got early May, but I mean mid to early.
Season.
Yeah, it's the exam period. Yeah, I think you're my youngest guest I have on it. My second youngest
really?
my second youngest was a retired table tennis player. What have you been busy with besides exams?
So right now I've been taking a break from the national setup to recharge and to rediscover my love for the sport again. So I've been just training with my club. And I've been creating routines to music that I've always wanted to use. And I'm also still pretty involved with the sports scene. Yeah, as you mentioned, I was just appointed to the Olympic Council Athletes Commission. Yeah, so we're doing our best to improve athlete welfare. So we've been planning a few events in the coming months. Yeah, and I've also been a research assistant for NMP Kenneth Go for the past few months.
I thought researching your life is so many things to do. Then you just added another 2 or 3 things. Then wow, how do you spend time to do those things?
I stopped national team, but I feel like I'm just as busy.
Okay, this one is IKPO. So your research work with this NMP, right? What is it about? Like, is it something sports related?
Yeah, generally it's sports related. I think he reached out to me because we've worked together before and I generally have quite a passion for improving athlete welfare. He's trying to shed a bigger spotlight on sports in particular, but also on the arts as well. So a lot of the research that I do involves seeing what has been said and what has been done in the past and what else that we can do to shed some more light on these areas of our community.
Okay, so I sort of understand what you're trying to do in the sense that because I'm part of the literary art scene also, I think a lot of times for the government to take action, to me, you need to provide some form of proof or some form of like, this is what we did our research on, this is what people said, and then this is what we proposed for more. I would say so that you're not just putting out baseless arguments or asking for baseless things. We normally start our podcast interviews by learning about the origins of our guests. So maybe can I ask about you and how you got into swimming? Because I also learned that you reviewed in an interview before that actually your mom was into the sport as well.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised that you found that out because I don't remember where I said that. I know I said it somewhere, but I don't remember where I said that. My mom used to do artistic swimming, and then when I was in primary 1, I had to pick a CCA. So I thought artistic swimming would be easy, and I was so wrong. Yeah, but my mom told me I had to stick it out for 6 months. I came home every day like crying, and she said, no, you got to commit. You've committed to this, and you got to stick with it. And then after 6 months, I realized that I was like, I had no talent in anything else. So I had to stick. Yeah, so I just stayed with it. And my first competition that I competed in, I actually got last place. Yeah, so I was pretty bad. I'll say I was bad at the sport for about 6 years. Yeah. But I'm really glad that I kept with it because I wouldn't have gotten to where I was if my mom had let me just quit.
For a lot of young athletes, right, especially like those like in the primary school, I feel that the rigor and the repetitive training is very hard for a child to see any fun in that, especially when not good in it. In that sense, the parents do play an important role in their early years to sort of give them some kind of discipline or some kind of structure to follow lah.
Definitely. I think if it were up to me, right, I would have just quit. I would have just left at this point. I wouldn't be here.
But has it ever crossed your mind that, since it's all in the pool, why didn't you choose like competitive swimming?
Right. Okay. So competitive swimming never really appealed to me.
Oh.
I didn't really get the point of swimming laps again and again for like a few hours. When I was younger, I used to focus more on like doing somersaults and handstands in the pool as opposed to like any actual swimming.
When was it your turn that you decided that, okay, I think I want to do this like competitively, like you want to go to your first competition? And do you still remember your first competition?
My first competition was when I was, I think, 9 years old. I do remember it specifically because I got last place. But I was just happy that I finished the routine at all and that I remembered the whole routine. Oh. Yeah, that was a phenomenon in those days that I could remember everything. I remember that I got a nosebleed right before our team went on. Yeah, so luckily the costume was pink because it hid everything. Yeah, but I remember, everyone was stressing and like panicking around me. Yeah, we had to like let another team go before us. Yeah.
I see.
It was quite a memorable first competition.
So even then you were already swimming in teams? Like it's a team thing, right? It wasn't like you were alone?
Yeah. Did the solo, duet and team event in my first competition. Yeah.
Wow. Were your parents or your friends supportive of you doing this when you decided that, hey, I want to do this? Like, okay, I wouldn't say full time because you're still a student, but I think when you decided to take this more seriously as a sport.
My parents were always super supportive. Even when I was young and I was awful at it, my mom would still be the loudest voice cheering in the stands, and my dad would take ton of photos. Yeah, and then they'll be so proud and show it to their friends. Yeah, and then it's carried on even until this day because they would, even if my competitions are overseas, they'll come and watch me and cheer for me.
Wow.
Yeah, and the 2025 World Championships last year was very special because my grandparents got to see me compete on the world stage for the first time. Wow. Yeah, and my extended family, my aunts and uncles, everyone came to watch me. So it's really nice and very sweet.
Was it because you were in Singapore?
Yes, thankfully. So everyone could come and see me. And at the SEA Games last year, because it was held in Thailand, so it was pretty close by, my grandparents also came to cheer. And they were the first faces that I saw in the stands. I turned around and I saw my granddad's face.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, but they've always been very supportive. They'll fetch me to and fro from training so that I can eat and sleep in the car and I can have a chance to recover. Yeah, and then they even supported me in extending my IB program in the Singapore Sports School, which I don't think a lot of parents would be very supportive of, their child delaying their academics to focus on sports, especially in Singapore.
How do you say? I think it's very important to always go into definition. So could you just explain to our listeners what artistic or synchronized swimming is?
Okay, so synchronized swimming was renamed as artistic swimming because they wanted to emphasize the artistry of the sport. And it's basically a combination of gymnastics, diving, cheerleading, water polo, all the while holding your breath and smiling as wide as you can. A few different events that require different numbers of people. So you have the solo event, which is one person, and it's for both male and female. There's a duet and mixed duet, which both involve 2 people, and the mixed team event, which involves 8 people. And within these categories, the events are split into the free event and the technical event. And the team event also has an extra one, which is the acrobatic event. It focuses mainly on lifts where we throw girls out of the water.
Ooh, I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's the most interesting one, and honestly, it's my favorite. Used to be a flyer, like very early on when I was lighter and smaller. I used to jump, and I wasn't very good at it, but I really liked it. But now that I'm a lot taller and bigger and not so easy to throw into the air, and as my teammates get younger, I I've become the one on the bottom. So normally I'm the arms, so they will jump off of my wrists.
Okay, then my next question is really the first question that came into my mind when I'm preparing the question, which is, I can understand how people train for like athletics, how they train for competitive swimming, but how do you train for artistic swimming?
Oh, there's so much that we do. Okay, so like outside of the water, we have to do a lot of gym sessions. Sometimes we also do ballet sessions, drama, acrobatic sessions. And I feel like a lot of people understand the ballet portion and the drama portion because it is a performance sport.
Yeah.
But I think people also underestimate how strong we have to be because we're literally throwing girls out of the water with nothing to support us. So we're just supporting our own weight and the weight of another teammate. Yeah, but our typical water training session would probably involve some swimming, some speed swimming, and usually there's always an element of hypoxia involved. So that's like breath holding, to train our stamina. And then we'll do drills for our basic movements and sculling, which is how we stay afloat. And depending on where we are in the season, most of our time is either spent on choreographing routines or perfecting the finer detail. So in the latter case, we will spend time setting every single action, like the count and the angle. For example, if the count is 1, whether it's on the O or it's on the E, like the end of the count. And we'll practice like changing our pattern so that the transitions are seamless and we know how our teammates will move like during the actual competition.
My next question will be on choreography. And because you spoke about choreography and you spoke a bit about music just now, so I wanted to ask, right? Because the only choreography that I know is like, watching dance performances and whatnot, right? Some choreography sometimes is done by dancers themselves coming to discuss, and then they come out organically. Is it a thing where the coach will choreograph and then teach you all, or do you all like just go into group and discuss and then you all come out with something like organic?
Generally, the coaches try to encourage choreography from the swimmers because it's so much more genuine, if it comes from us. So I think the routine that we collaborated the most on was our recent acrobatic routine, where it was based around Rocky, the Eye of the Tiger. That training montage where he does a lot of training. So a lot of the moves were exercise inspired. So our deck work was us doing all different kinds of exercises, and we did sit-ups, push-ups, and even pull-ups in the water.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty tiring.
I have a newfound appreciation for this sport. Like before you describe it, right? I don't think it's the number one thing I'll like turn on the Olympics and watch one. But now you say like, actually, it sounds quite fun. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's really, really entertaining to watch. A lot of people, when I tell them about that I do artistic swimming, they're like, oh, it's easy, you're just floating, or like it's boring. Like, how interesting can it be? But I think people will be really surprised.
So in a team or a duo, right, how do you cultivate like chemistry and synchronization? Like, is there any signals that you had to come up, or like it's just a lot of discussions and practice?
The key thing is time, just hours of training with each other. You get to know your teammates really well, so you know how they move, how they swim into pattern, particularly for a team. So like you coordinate with the person, okay, so you swim under and I'll swim on top. Or like if someone's at the bottom of the pool, like told them before, okay, I'm gonna pull you up from the depths. Like we can't really see each other in the water because we do this without goggles.
Oh, yes,
so
I forget.
we're blind.
Yes,
we're blind. So but you can kind of see the shapes. So if a person is not in pattern, like sometimes we'll reach out and like push them into place or like tap them. Oh, and we communicate by we do this. So we count, our reserves count like that for us when there's no music. But it's also like a signal. So if whenever anyone does that, then like we all know, something's that we better pay attention. Or if we don't have our hands free, like during the routine, for example, if the music suddenly stops, then someone can start counting using their mouth. Yeah, because we can't speak, we'll just go like,
Then you brought up something that I didn't realize was a thing in the sport, which is that you have reserves. Means that for a team of 8, I would suspect there's 2 more or 1 more person that is on shore that is, in case anything happens, you all got someone to substitute.
We do have reserves. Yeah, you're right. It's normally 1 or 2 people.
My own thinking is that the reserves have a harder job than the actual people because you have to sub for any of the 8. So, and I feel that the 8 people will each have different positions.
That's very true. Yeah. We all have different roles and positions in the team. And I would say the most difficult routine to sub for would be the acrobatic routine because everyone has a different role there. So if you're the flyer or you could be, the one pushing, and there are 7 different roles of pushing. So you have to be able to do all of them. So it's pretty difficult. So as a reserve, you got to know everything.
Every time we think that sports are reserve is the one you're not good enough in the main team. That's why you're on the bench, right? But now that you say it like this, I'm like, I wouldn't want to be the reserve. Very difficult.
Yeah, they have a very tough job, and it's a very important job because like at the last minute they could be subbed in.
I think you shared just now a bit about your most recent memory, I think at the World Aquatic Championship last year. What is another memorable memory about a recent game that you went to that you thought that you can share with our listeners and viewers?
The 2023 Asian Games was probably the most memorable moment. The specific instance I'm thinking about is after our free team event. We climbed out of the water and then we went to it's called the kiss and cry couch to receive your results. Yeah, because the coaches will kiss you if you do well, and then if you do well or if you do badly, you'll cry. Yeah, then we were just all waiting there, and the judges were taking really long to come out with the score. They took so long that the cameraman had to tell us, like, he had to hold up a sign that said, smile and wave. Because we were just like, what's going on? And we were like looking around at the judges and the coaches, and my coach was standing next to me and she was squeezing my hand really tightly. She was like praying in Chinese. She was like muttering in Chinese herself, just praying. And then suddenly I hear her like scream and grab me. And she wrapped me in her arms and she started like screaming and yelling in my ear. I didn't even get to see the score, but like, I knew it was a good score. There's a moment where my whole team, like, we go from like yelling in pure ecstasy to just sobbing.
Just coming up there, well, they're over the moon, aren't they? Wow, that is a good score for Singapore. They jump up to 575.
Everyone just starts sobbing at the same time because it was like months of hard work, of blood, sweat, and tears, and all like accumulating like in this final moment of and this realization like, oh, like this is it. This was what it was all for.
This was the Asian Games that was held in Hangzhou, I think, was it?
Yes, Hangzhou.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then can you walk us through how you prepare for a competition like day? Like, I mean, I'm talking about like rehearsals and the thing you put on your hair that make it look so shiny. Like, what is it? I'm pretty sure it's not just gel, this kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, this is a very long process. Okay. Let's say the competition is at like 11 a.m. in the morning. We'll wake up around 4 or 5 a.m. to get our hair done.
Wow.
Yeah. So some of the teams that I've had, we do it in our own rooms. But some of the teams that I've had, we've also gone to one person's room and then we all just do our hair there. So we'll tie it into a really, really tight bun. And then after that, then we'll boil gelatin.
Boil?
Yeah,
okay.
and gelatin. And we'll put the boiling hot gelatin on our hair while it's still hot. Yeah, we pin the sparkly headpieces in place. And you've got to be really careful where you place the pins because if not, you're going to get a massive headache.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, normally we help each other with the headpieces because you can't really see. It's at like the front of your head here, so you can't really see it. And then after that, we'll do a base layer of makeup, but not too much because it will get washed away anyway. After that, we'll head to the pool. We'll do a short warm-up, land warm-up, and then we'll go into the water. And then after that, our coach will make us practice certain parts of the routines. So we'll all be wearing headsets, or the reserve will be nearby, counting like this underwater. And it's really chaotic because everyone's trying to get like that last bit of practice in. So you have to watch out. If not, you'll get kicked. And like sometimes I get shoved like last minute by someone else's team's reserve, and then their flyer will land like right where I was.
I guess because the swimming pool only so big, then there might be, 9, 10, 12 teams in the pool all trying to practice at the same time.
Yeah, there's so many teams. Oh, even more. Yeah, there's so many teams. There's up 20 plus teams, yeah. Organizers will play like 1 minute of everyone's music. Yeah, the coaches get to select what we do. Normally, it's not the full minute. It's just like certain specific parts we need to practice. And then if we're lucky, we get about an hour to prepare and do like last minute touches. So we'll almost always do last minute touches to our hair because the gelatin will have washed off a little bit. So we'll always bring a kettle to the pool so that we can do touch-ups. And we'll do touch-ups on the makeup. Finally put things like lipstick and blush. While everyone's getting prepared, someone will start playing the team music. So once I'm done, I like to sit down and close my eyes and try and visualize what the routine, like the best possible version of the routine is in my head. So that when I actually physically do it, I'll know exactly what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, and we'll all be wrapped up in parkas and have heat packs to keep ourselves warm. So our muscles won't be rigid. Once everyone's done, we'll gather in like a circle and we'll do one last land drill, which is where we do the routine with our hands on land. We'll get up and all hold hands, and our coach and the captain point out some last minute things or like things that we need to remember. And then normally I'll do a prayer just to calm everyone's nerves. And then we all do hands in and say 加油.
Oh.
Yeah, even our international coaches. Everyone has some pre-competition traditions. Like I always need to slap myself. I need to slap my arms and legs really hard to activate the muscles. I also have this tradition with my teammate where we'll bump like double thumbs up together. Yeah, and or another teammate, she always comes up to me. She asks me to slap her because she needs to wake up. She needs to make sure she's prepared. Yeah. After the final last minute encouragement and like whispered 加油, then we'll finally walk onto the stage.
I never felt so tense for a interviewee until you describe the whole process. I can't imagine like competition at 11, right? Even celebrities, if they have an interview at 11, they don't wake up at 4, 5 a.m. to go to like the salon to do hair. Like, you wake up so early, then the tension builds all the way towards until like 11. And then it doesn't mean that you start at 11 because you might not be the first to go on. You might be, I don't know, number 10, number 11.
Exactly.
Then you have to wait. Then you have to watch other people go ahead of you, and then finally it's your turn. I'm like, wow, I can't imagine the tension there.
Yeah, it's so stressful. And I feel like the most stressful part for me is when we do the morning warm-up, sometimes I get anxious and then I push myself a bit too much. And then when I get out of the water, my legs feel like jelly. And I have to go and compete soon. Yeah, so I start panicking and like quickly trying to elevate my legs, or like I go to the physio and I ask him to quickly help me.
I understand that there's a certain training regime or certain way you're trained during like off season or during like off games part of the year lah. Does the training or the preparation change when you lead up to like the final weeks of the game or the final weeks of the competition?
Oh yeah, it definitely ramps up. So normally we have training camps, so that could look like 8 to 5 training every day. Yeah, and then our training itself is very focused on the routine. So we'll either do many run-throughs of the routine to build up stamina, and we'll start to train this without goggles so that we can mimic how it will be in competition. Very detail oriented, so we can spend hours practicing one specific part to get all the details correct.
So what do you think is what are some of the unique challenges of performing in a team versus like performing in a duet?
I feel like it's more stressful the less people you have. So for me, solo would be the most stressful event because there's no one to share in your stress. I'm generally calmer when I'm focusing on other people. So like when I'm focusing on helping them alleviate their own stress, it helps me to calm myself down and not think about how stressed I am. But for a duet partner, I guess it would be easier because it's just one person that you have to coordinate with. And if they cannot get a certain count or they keep doing an action a certain way, then it's always easier for you to then adapt to it. But for a team, everyone has to be on the same count. Everyone has to do things at a certain count, at a certain angle. You have to adjust yourself to fit the team.
I never saw it that way before. Okay. I mean, yeah, because I'm not in the sport. Yeah.
You could try. We're looking for male.
My size, my weight.
We're looking for males. Can train.
Maybe get my weight a bit down first. I mean, I'm not as fat as I used to be, but yeah.
Can do mixed duet. Or we can throw you. We can put you in the team and we can throw you.
I think I'd be the base of the throwing people makes more sense than throwing.
Can.
As the vice captain of the team, what are some of the additional things that you need to be quote unquote in charge of?
I'm normally in charge of liaising with the administrative staff and the managers. Then I communicate to them like the team's issues or like things that we need help with, and I act like a bridge because then I'll relay what they said back to the team as well. For me, I've always looked at my role as more of being an example. I'll always try and give my best and show up and 100% in training. During a competition, focusing on other people helps me be less stressed.
Calm down, yeah.
So that also translates into daily trainings because I'll always be on the lookout for teammates. If they look sick or injured or worried, then I always want to make sure that they have an outlet and that they feel like they're not alone. Yeah, whether it be crying in the shower or like a hug in the hot tub or even like a mutual scream underwater. Yeah, I just want to always be there for my teammate.
Actually, the more you describe this, right, the more I think that even before you start work, you're already experiencing what work is about already. Because
oh, really?
I tell you,
okay.
What you just described is most people work life. Communication is a thing that you go anywhere, you go any job, you have to do one. Anybody, if you want to rise through the ranks and earn enough money, you will need to sooner or later have people under you, and then it's about taking care of them, looking out for, like you say, signs of them. Are they stressed? How you manage their stress and whatnot. You are already interning before you even start internship.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I get a lot of preparation.
I would like to ask more about you as a person, and I think the first question I want to ask you is that what do you like to do when you're not in the pool?
Oh, okay. I love that question. I like to write. So I've been planning a high fantasy bird-inspired spy series for 8 years. And I've been
Wow.
writing it for the last few years with my siblings. Yeah. And I've just sent it out to an editor. So I hopefully will get it published soon. I would really love to do that. And I also draw a lot. I
Oh.
like to draw things when I'm stressed. I feel like if I'm not stressed, I can't draw well. But it's mostly just patterns and just mindless sketches that help me take my mind off of whatever I'm thinking about.
I have to say, because I also run a publishing firm, I mean, I hope all goes well with you and your
Ooh.
editor, but if
Yeah.
anything happens, I'll be glad to take a look at your manuscript.
Oh, I would love that actually. I would really love that. Yeah.
I don't want to, what's that word called? Potong jalan. So yeah, so I hope it goes well
Oh
with
yeah,
your
no worries.
with your editor and whatnot first. How do you juggle both studies and swimming? Because getting into law school is not for everyone.
Yeah, it's really tough. I think for me, the key thing is prioritizing. A very important lesson I learned early on is that if you don't prioritize, you're going to burn out. I'm someone who likes to push myself and I like to excel in everything. But I very quickly realized that I can't go 100% at training and 100% in school because that's just not how the human body works. You know, we don't have 200% to give. I had to realize that it's okay, like through a series of very tough lessons, I had to realize that it's okay to sometimes take a step back. Maybe I'll give 60% at training one day, and it just depends on what's most important at the moment. If I have competitions coming up, then I'll focus on that. Or if I have exams coming up, same thing, I'll focus on that. And I think the toughest part for me was when I had my IB exams and my Asian Games in the same month.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was very stressful. Yeah, I focused on the games first. And the second the competition ended, I hit the books. I didn't look up from my books until like the exam ended.
You are both an athlete and a student, ma. Is there any opportunity for you to step away from both your identities as a student and as an athlete to just be yourself?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I feel like my identity is so fundamentally tied to like these two aspects that I don't know who I am without it. And I've actually really struggled with that as I've taken a step back from the national team because it's like, who am I if I'm not a national artistic swimmer? Yeah, as I mentioned, I've been working on my book and I've been secretly promoting it under like a fake name. And I've managed to build quite a supportive writing community of writers and readers. And it's nice. It's like my little safe space. It's not that I don't want people to know about it, but it's like, it's somewhere that I can be someone else. Someone that I don't know found me. I don't know how he found me on that account. And he just started asking me a lot of questions about my sporting career. And I was quite uncomfortable because even though I don't mind people asking me questions, I didn't want him breaching this bubble that I had. Yeah, but thankfully he was very understanding when I said, don't contact me on this account. Please go to my other account.
I didn't know that you see this writing thing as your safe space. Because for me, I see reading as my safe space. So I really like to like just take like a weekend, 2-3 hours I read and I just enter the world. Then it's quite a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I really love that. That's actually what inspired me to get into writing in the first place because I wanted to live out the world in my head and like have other people live in it too. I wanted to share it with people.
Now we are on this topic. I have to ask something that I'm curious with. What's the favorite book or favorite author that you have read?
Okay, favorite author, I can answer that immediately. It's Frances Hardinge because I love to read fantasy and her books are so immersive. I feel like a lot of fantasy books nowadays are very commonly like witches, vampires, etc. Yeah. It's all very safe. It's been tried and tested and it's been done before. If you're just tiptoeing into the world of fantasy, right? Hers makes you take like a running leap and like jump into the world of fantasy. Like it's mind blowing the amount of ideas that she has. And you really like every single page I turn, I'm like, where does she come up with this? Because she truly creates such an immersive world and it feels so real. It doesn't feel plasticky or like, someone was just like throwing words into ChatGPT and into like a random name generator and asking for, just send me this. Like it feels like an actual lived-in world.
Okay, then you have to send me. You send me the link to the book. I'll buy it and try it for my birthday.
I will. Yeah. Yes.
So talk about what you want to pursue after you graduate. Like, do you want to continue a career in law or do you want to be a full-time athlete?
I think I want to pursue a law career, but I do really want to still be involved in the athlete community because mental health and well-being is really, very important to me. So I want to make sure that all current and future athletes have a platform to be seen and to be heard, and that their issues are not taken lightly.
The more you say, the more I feel that these two paths will slowly cross again in the near future. I think that's how you see it, right?
Perhaps. Perhaps. Yeah.
Question before we get to quickfire is, what's the best piece of advice you would share with any athlete who are considering like the road ahead, means that they are considering they want to be an athlete, either to participate in a competition or they consider it as a full-time career?
My first one is walk your own path, especially in a society that, you know, has a fear of missing out. We always just want to keep going and going and going as fast as we can, you know, to get the highest grades possible and get into a high-paying job. You shouldn't compare your own journey to other people's. For me, I took the extended path, extended IB program at Singapore Sports School, and it meant that I had to spend 1 year after, like 1 year longer than my batchmates. So I watched them all graduate without me, and I was quite lonely. But because of that, it gave me the flexibility and the time I needed to work on both my sports and my studies and make sure that I wasn't compromising either. And honestly, without that, I don't think I would be where I am today. I don't think I would have gotten into law at all. Yeah, so don't compare your journey to other people's, because success looks different for everyone and we're all walking our own separate journeys. And my second piece of advice is please listen to your body. And I think anyone that knows me that is listening to this is probably calling me a hypocrite, because I've pushed through so many injuries to compete. I'm not advocating for that at all. Please listen to your body. It's very tempting to push yourself hard at a young age. You know, like we're just told like, oh, just tahan. Yeah, you can do it. But it will lead to burnout. In the end, your recovery time will end up being longer and the injury might affect you in the long run. Please listen to your body and listen to experts and whatnot that tell you, you know, it's time to rest and recover and take a step back. You know, your career will still be there waiting for you.
I think we can end with a round of quickfire questions. Favorite song to listen to outside the pool?
I really love the whole Arcane, you know, Arcane, the series, the League of Legends series,
Yes.
the TV series.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that whole soundtrack, but especially Dirty Little Animals by Bones UK.
Now, the next question is favorite song to swim to inside the pool?
As a routine, it would probably be my solo that I'm going to do. I haven't done it yet. Teddy Swims Lose Control.
Oh, okay. I just went to his concert. Great concert.
Oh, did he play that song?
Yeah, I mean, that's his encore song.
That'd be so nice to listen to live.
Yeah, okay. What I like about his concert is, number one, it's not very expensive. 38, 128, you get quite good seats. He don't do a lot of like, how are you everybody? Then he spend like 15 minutes talking. No,
he just
1 minute
sings.
talk and then sing. 1 minute talk and then sing. And then you can see that the talk, right, is like, finish, okay, then you sing already. So the concert, I think not even 2 hours end already. So I feel that, okay.
It's 100. It sounds quite worth it. This song was actually like, it helped me so much when I was like having anxiety attacks. Like it would just help to calm me down. Yeah, so it's actually it's a very important song to me. Yeah, I can't wait to do a routine to it.
Favorite sport other than swimming?
Either tricking, which is like flipping, or wrestling, because I love to watch WWE.
Huh? Okay. That's out of nowhere, but okay, sure. Funny story about swimming that you can share with us?
I don't know about haha funny, but we have to do this lift, which is called a platform lift. So there'll be this one girl lying flat, and then there'll be another girl standing on top. And then everyone below is lifting her. One day, our coach borrowed this really big, strong water polo guy. And he came over like really muscular and like all in tattoos. And she told him, go stand on top of the smallest girl, that one there. And then she told us, okay, yeah, lift them up. Yeah, and then we were all like, huh? Yeah, and then he got on her stomach, and she was dying, and we were all lifting. We all lifted, right? And then we all just collectively let out like a scream underwater because we couldn't get it up. We only got him up to his knees.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we were all just like straining, and then we slowly like sank down to the bottom of the pool.
Favorite routine you have ever performed?
Either our last acrobatic routine to Eye of the Tiger, or a duet I choreographed with my friend with the theme Tribal Warriors.
What would you be if you were not in law or not an athlete and not a writer?
Dang it, you stole my... What if I say script writer?
Oh, okay, sure. That means something to do with words lah. Writing, be it script or be it like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I can write for movies. If I'm not going to write books, I'll write movies. I'll write the scripts for movies.
Okay. Favorite food to eat after an intense competition? Okay,
if I'm going healthy, I'll say meat. Like probably my dad's steak. But if I'm going unhealthy, I'm a sweets girl. I love dessert. Specifically, the Haagen-Dazs cookies and cream ice cream cake.
I can totally imagine
I
you
love
just
that.
finishing the whole all by yourself, like
Oh, no, I
in the what's that thing called?
wish.
Hug and cry bench. You just down there.
The kiss and cry
Yeah,
couch.
correct. Correct.
Every year on my birthday, I always get my parents to buy me that ice cream, the ice cream cake, the cookies and cream ice cream cake.
Okay, one word your friends use to describe you.
I want them to say caring, but I feel like they're gonna say weird.
Okay, I think we have really learned a lot from you today, and you're really a very busy person. But to close off our episode, can you let our audience know where they can find you on social media?
Sure, my Instagram is at Claire_TWY.
Thank you so much for your time, Claire, and really wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much. It was so nice chatting with you.